Actually, I'm a servant of what I call the note from heaven. And it was not my own choice to be that. Actually, I'm a musician who's classical trained in the conservatorium in Copenhagen. And I went to study classical Indian singing in the middle of my studies, actually just to get out to travel. I was not really interested in Indian singing. It was just because my girlfriend had to go there. And I thought, okay, I will see if I can get some money. And I had a very high, good test, and then they gave me a lot of money. And then my girlfriend didn't go there anyway, so I had to go to India, even though I didn't have any idea why. But I understood later on that this experience in India changed all my life. Because when I got down to Varanasi in India, I found a singing teacher. Also, just somebody told me, you can go to her. Yeah. I went to Mangala Tiwari, a classical Khayal singer, and she told me right away, you go home and sing 1 hour on your ground note. And this message provoked me a lot, because I was used to play very fast, like we do in the West, exercises like tang, tang, tang in the tempo and all this with a metronome. And now I just had to sing 1 note. She said, you have to do it because otherwise we cannot know if you're God-gifted. Nobody in the conservatorium in Denmark talked about being God-gifted. So I thought, oh, I would like to know if I'm God-gifted. So I sat down home and practiced with a tambura, saying for like 10 minutes, and I thought it's really boring. But I knew that my teacher's sound was so nice. I mean, her sound was just like shivering in the neck when you heard it. It's like you want more from it. And I didn't catch really what was it in her sound that made me want to sound like her. I didn't know, but I tried. And after 10 minutes, all of a sudden, somebody in the street started to copy me. Every time I opened my mouth, other people sang. And I went to look out of the window, and nobody was there. So in the end, I figured out that it was my own voice making more voices at the same time. So what's happening when the note from heaven is manifesting in you? And I said, it's not just me that can sing that. Everybody can get in contact with that note from heaven. It is that it's like you get a glory of sound. Your sound expand, and it's getting full of overtones and undertones, and it's like saying, from being here, it's like this. Sound is light. This I just know, and since I experienced this, the note from heaven, I call it the note from heaven because it feels like you just want to lay your neck back and receive it and just sing, because it's like it's not you singing, it's like the sound sings you, and you disappear into a state of being that is really blessed. So I couldn't stop singing like this when I experienced it, and I lost the interest. I was a saxophone player. I lost the interest in it, even I was quite good. I just wanted to sit and sing 1 note, and I didn't know what it would lead to, but I just sang that note, and it led to a lot. And it's still going on, this experience of what this note is telling me. So I love the note from heaven, and I also love to give you my experience of it, to share it with you. My experience of it is that the note from heaven is retuning the voice you're born with. We are all complete. We are all full of love when we are born, but we adapt to the surroundings we're in, and we are trying to be correct to get the love we are supposed to get. In order to be correct, we change ourselves, even we become complete. And the journey back to the completeness is a natural process because we can train our consciousness to know who we are. If we didn't have that process, we wouldn't know what we were. We wouldn't know that we are the hands of the angels, because we are. And when we surrender to the sound map that we actually are, we come with a specific gift, each of us. Like we have a fingerprint, even twins, one-egg twins will have different fingerprints, we will have different voices. And this, you call it imprint, or the print of the voice, when you open for that print that you come with, you get all your potentials to open. And what's happening more is that your consciousness is getting able, I have problems like everybody else, and traumas and all this, but I experience that I'm never totally lost. By singing, I can raise my consciousness and view it from up. And when you just think, oh, I have to remember to sing, getting up here, you can see the little self down there complaining. You will manage, and you will develop from the challenges. What the sound is doing too is that you can load yourself with energy, you can sing yourself free of traumas, and that's what I describe in my book, The Note from Heaven. The second part, it's actually 2 books, because I wrote 3 books about this, and these are the 2 first books in Danish that's shortened down to this one. So the second part is about how you can sing yourself free of your own traumas. My boys, I'm a mother too, they usually tell me if I start to have, women can be not always in balance. They tell me, oh mother, go to sing yourself free. Oh, I say, yes, of course. I sing myself free and then no problem anymore. So I work also with help people to sing themselves free of traumas. It can take very short. If you get the trauma, if you get the tension of the trauma in the body, you can release it very fast. I used to say that it's like Snow White when she had a poisoned piece of apple in the mouth. She spit it out, and that's what we do. People can have worked with themselves for years, decades, 10 years, and they just didn't spit out the piece of apple. And when we sing, it's a physical experience of becoming yourself and saying, we spit it out. And it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing, because actually traumas is a kind of compost that we have down in our stomach. Let's say, I used to say that they're laying in the stomach, and they also cause difficulties in breathing because the tensions are laying here. So when we loosen up for these traumas, all the tensions are going away, and all the energy that was saved here will be released and benefit everybody in the room. So I love to help people to sing themselves free because they get a lot of energy from it. And anybody can sing like this. Also, people that sing that tone deaf, it's the most beautiful thing when this note is coming out. Everybody has beauty inside. So nobody doesn't have that. The only thing is not beautiful, that's when the little self say, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. But we can just realize that, okay, this little self has to be worked on. But everybody's good enough. It's just, that's the same thing, we can open up to be complete, and I see often people having the most wonderful voice coming through, and then after they say, oh, it was nothing. Because you forget, because when you sing the note from heaven, you get into the moment, and time disappears. So after the small self coming back and say, oh, it was nothing. And that's why at least you should work 1 month with a note from heaven in order to rebuild let's say the garden around your castle, or the princess that was sleeping, or the prince that was sleeping, it was overgrown. So you have to clean the garden, so that your little self will not come and make problems. So why I talk about this is because when you have the access to the note from heaven, you also have a bridge to the heaven. That means you can start to heal. That's what happened to me. I was not a healer, and I had to fight. It was really difficult for me to take this archetype on me, until simply a deaf person regained hearing. And I didn't know she was deaf. She was deaf in one ear. And I just played with it. I found out that you can sound scan a person's body. I had singing pupils, and I just found out because one was sick and she wanted me to heal her, and I did it with a voice because we were not allowed to heal, so we did a mixture of it. We played with it, and then this happened, that I found out that the resonance of the note from heaven will play together with another person's body. It's not my voice, it's not the person's body, it's coming in between. And in the in-between, both of us disappear, and some kind of thing is happening, which I will not tell you what it is. You can mention what it is yourself. I've also experienced that, spirit comes through to help with that. Oh, now this is... So is there anybody I should demonstrate this on? Are there anybody with a tinnitus or a hearing problem, or stress in the solar plexus or something that I should demonstrate on? Yes, you are? Come. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, I'm Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Pleased to meet
Where
you.
do you have anything?
I'm holding quite a lot of trauma
Yeah?
in my guts.
Okay, so you want to sing yourself free, or shall I just sing on you?
Yes, please, whatever.
Oh, if you're ready to sing?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'll have a
Okay.
go.
Okay, I just show you now how I sing the note from heaven, just that you will know. Is it okay that you
Of
just...
course.
It's a matter of breathing to the stomach. You have to sing from the bottom of yourself. And that can be hard. Can you breathe like this? Yeah, and you do the opposite breathing, and that's natural. Many people are doing that today because we have so much stress. When you breathe in, the stomach should get out. So now come to me, because I should be in front of the camera. We do like this. Is it allowed? Am I allowed to touch you here?
Yes, yes.
Will you touch my stomach too? My big stomach? So we breathe together. So out. In. And that's it. And then breathe. Exhale. You press the stomach in. You have to press it actively. You can see. You see. Ha. Ha. Okay. Here can be so much tension that it's hard to get it through. So I'm going to sound heal you soon, because you can't express a note from heaven unless you have the bagpipe functioning here. This is like a bagpipe. So I just show. It's a kind of loud sound, because that we can feel that we really have it. It's kind of almost shouting, so don't be surprised. I won't use all the evening, so we stop here. The breath getting very long when you sing like that. So, what you should practice if you want to work with your traumas, is that to sing ha, ha. Can you? What is the sound of your stomach? You just do like this, ha. I don't care how you sound. Just do like this, ha. Yes, good. More. Ha. Yes, and then make it long. Ha.
Ha!
Yeah. Ah.
Ah!
Yes, it's good you put it up here. Here's the third eyes up here. The high, yes, the consciousness. Come on. Ha!
Ah!
Very good, Tim. And if you do, now you can shout, we want you how you are. We want your power, you may? We love you. This way. Ah! Just give it out. I'll be like that, you won't hit me.
Ah!
Yes! Open mouth. And if you put the neck a little bit back, and you just put down and you just, like this. I'll be back there, you won't hit me. Can I hold you? Are you ready?
Okay.
Come on, you very good, you are very good and brave. Come on.
Ah!
Can you hear the overtones starting coming?
I did,
It
yes.
starts to ringing, very nice. I will just, can I sing on you too?
Please do.
Okay, we'll just try.
So I sing
ask
as well,
for love.
or
You
you
feel
just-
like, but I will sing
Okay.
for you first.
all right, that's
I
good.
ask for love and for healing for your traumas in the stomach. You worked quite a lot on yourself. It's very good because you're not trying to escape, otherwise some sound would jump and it's not doing it. So we take another kind of note. These kind of undertones, they are for the bones usually. It can cure also fractures in the bones, but it's also for traumas that are really not, that you're not in contact with. But you're quite good in contact with yourself. Isn't that true? Yes.
Yes.
So now we do it with another. I'm not changing the sound. Now you will hear where it is. It's laying from this part. The thing is, when you catch something, you can't stop. I can't stop. I'm trying to stop now, so it won't be too long. Could you feel it?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
How is it?
And something shifted, readjusted itself.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
That's very good. And you're open. And now try to sing. Try to how it is to remove your stomach. Now is it easier? Just remember, it has to go inside.
It's out further, yes.
That's a habit. Actually, you have to practice to this way, and then you make it big when you breathe in. Just breathe out again. Yeah, and then push it all the way in. Good. I'm sorry, I'm pushing you so much. And then just hold the breath, and then when you breathe in, you make the stomach. Yes, that's it. And now you push the stomach in and you sing. Come on, and you give it. Actually, push it in. Here, from here. Yes. All the way. Yes, come on. And you're allowed to shout, you're allowed to be here and take all the space you want. We want you to take all the space. Come on. More. Come on, out with arms. Come on. Yes. Yes. Continue. Good. You can do it much longer. I know that. One more time. Much longer. You can do it as long as you want. We want you to hear you all the way. Come on. Yes. Take out the arms. And I hold you. Thank you. It's okay?
Yes, yes, good, yes.
Thank you, Tim. I don't know.
Well, thank you.
My time, my sense of time disappeared. I don't know if the time
It's
is...
5 to 6.
Oh, so it's...
7.
7.
5 to 7.
Thank you very much. Okay. What happened when I sing, when I now sound heal people with this sound, I call it sound scanning, because what is the biggest gift in this is that as a healer, you are nothing. It's a big gift because you just have to step aside and let the sound work. The only thing that is my task is to listen. Just listen. And to be in the present and listen to the body. For example, a trauma, the cells, they like you to listen to them. How could you get in contact if you don't listen to them? And it can be very hard to reach for a person because layers of layers of forgetting and pushing under the carpet is on top of it. But then you can do it from outside, say, hello, little trauma, and you can sing for it. And you continue, you're searching for exactly the sound that will vibrate these cells and say, oh, I'm here. And then we can talk together. And then they come to life, and that's why sometimes people can say, oh, there it is. And we can release it quite easy. Because people will express the sound that they didn't express in the moment they got the trauma. Because usually you will have a shock and you will keep it like this inside. But if you express the sound, everything will be released. It's a mixture of people singing free and me singing on them, because, you know, it's different what people need. Each person is born with special gifts and unique voice, as I said. That means also that each person has a special gift in healing. I have an education where my pupils, they are learning to do all this, the 2-year education. And it showed up that different voices have different qualities. So I found out this woman, she has the knee problems disappear. So of course it has come to that in Denmark because many people know me there. I'm kind of a pioneer in this. So I tell people, oh, you go to her if you have something with the knee, or something with a headache, or this or that. You go to these people. Doesn't mean that you have only a gift for one thing. You can do overall everything, but some people will be especially good in certain things. And I'm quite good with the hearing and tinnitus. I can't promise that it disappears, but very often it disappears. Of course, if the reason for the tinnitus is a stress in your surroundings, the tinnitus can go down, but when you come home and you are in all this, maybe you are in some kind of radiation or something that caused it, it will come back. But the fact that people know that it can go down, it releases them from the fear of never having peace. Is anybody having a tinnitus here? Nobody? Very lucky for you. So it can, the note from heaven, it is also a bridge to spiritual world. That's what I have realized. I'm born in an atheist family, and I have had to break all what I'm born into with this, because it just showed up that so many things has happened that I just know. I know now. I'm not alone. Spirit helps me. And how does Spirit help me? I don't need to know who or whatever. I know when I surrender to the note from heaven, I get help. Like now, I thought, how can I manage to speak English here in front of people? My English is not very good, but somehow I get help to forget about it. And I hope you understood me. So thank you. If I agree about that you have to speak out loud when you have a problem in order to get help. It's also my experience that if I go, and you can be very sad, if I sing on my cry, now women can cry, maybe you can cry too. If I sing on my cry instead of crying, and I just ask for help, instead of telling, oh, this one is bad, that one, I just surrender to the pain, then I get help immediately almost. Or at least next day, it depends on the problem. So prayer is actually knocking heaven's door, and you do it loud. You know, because they won't hear you if you don't. You say, "Oh, I might. Could you help me?" You know, they won't help. You have to want it, and you surrender and say, "I believe," and come down into me. They can't enter to help you if you don't throw your own control. You have to trust.
It's a great idea. I'm really with this. You know,
I'm very happy.
I haven't found a way to do it.
Yes.
You're the only one I found out. I found
Really?
praying. You know.
Yeah, it's a kind of a prayer, and the same. It's a meditation. When you sing on the note from heaven, just singing for 1 hour, or how long, or 20 minutes, how much you want, you can do. Then you can hear your meditation, because you can hear if you're there or not. You can hear the overtones, and you can feel, now I'm there, because you disappear into the moment. You can't fake that. That when we sing out loud or speak things out loud, it will go into our own ears, and it will reach another part of the brain. Very interesting thing. What it is that is working, it's not up to me to say that, because I know nothing. And that's of course I know. I have a lot of experience. I've worked with this for 30 years. But still, you need this humbleness to just let it happen. You know, because if I know, then I take control. So the humbleness is in the gratitude for what is given. Every time I thought, the first time I took a tinnitus, it was a professor from Norway. I contacted Audun Myskja, he is a professor in musical medicine, because I tried to sing the undertones is, I can only sing it if I have somebody to sing on. When I sang that, somebody lost consciousness the first time, and I was so scared of it. For 15 minutes I couldn't get in contact with her. And so I phoned calling. I need a doctor to tell me I should never do it again. You know, she came back and there was nothing wrong, but I got scared out of it. I don't want anybody to die. So she told me, oh, did you ask her? Maybe she had a trauma from being in a full narcosis. And then I phoned her to ask her about it, and she said, oh. Yes, I did. When I was 12 years, I woke up from that, and I had a lot of allergies from that time. So after this sound healing, 4 out of 5 allergies was gone. So she had to come back to this experience. It never happened for me again, you know. But I have been with this doctor. Then when I got a contact with Audun Myskja, he told me, please try to do it on a tinnitus, because he wanted to do some scientific thing on it. And I did it for free for some time, and the first one that did it got worse. And I was like, oh, what did I go into? I'll never do it again. And then I told him, please call me in a few days if it's still worse, and I've tried to make it good again. I didn't know what to do, because I just experimented with it because the doctor told me. And he didn't call me, and I was like, I phoned him and said, oh, I'm sorry to tell you, it's gone. It was gone after 2 days. It went worse and then went down. He was a workman, you know, working with these machines making sound. So after that, I got so happy that I told him myself, wow, I can do tinnitus. And I sent this for Audun Myskja message, it worked, and this and that. And then I took a lot of people in with tinnitus, and then somehow it didn't work that good after that. Why? Because I thought it was me that could take it. he also wanted me to use an audiometer to measure, because people's hearing, I could make people regain hearing, even a total deaf one that could not communicate, only with the paper he could do. He was 89, he regained hearing enough that he could move out of the old man's house. So, but in the moment I thought I can do this or that for sure, I lose the power. So that's why keep humble. I have to keep humble, and I can never know anything. I know the tendency, yes.
Do you work with animals?
I tried.
Okay. I have a totally deaf cat.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, you can bring her. I'm asked if I work with animals because, what's your name?
Maria Teresa.
Maria Teresa.
Yeah.
She has a deaf cat. And I tried to work with a calf. Actually, I was my child was in a birthday, and this man, the father of the child, had a cow in the stable, a calf that was totally crazy because the farmer has been hunting it, and all these terrible things they do to small calves, taking them away from their mother, putting big things in their ears and all this. And it was just like crazy, full of blood, couldn't be quiet, and they were going to shoot it. So I went there, and I never did it before, but I just started singing, and I looked at its ears. When it did like this and was quiet, I continued. So I found like, ooh, and I found where the resonance was, and then it stood like this. And when it has been standing for this for some time, I went into the box that he had built all kind of things up around it, that it wouldn't smash it all. And then I sat with it, and it put his head in my lap. And they could give it milk after that. So I would love to teach people that. And I'm sure if you could tune into if you come, I'm not going to make a selling, but if you want to come to the workshop Sunday, I could teach you how to do it. And you could, if you want, if you live very close, you can bring your cat. We can try to do it. Show if it likes it or not. Another thing is that a cat's purring is called purring? Purring. Sorry, purring. I'm reading it. Purring. That is tested. They cannot test the human voice because it's too complicated. They can test the brain, if it's beta, theta, delta, and all this, but they can't. The voice is so complicated they can't test it. But the purring of the cat they tested, and it showed that the only difference between a dog and a cat is that it's purring. The bones have the same structure, but the cat is healing 3 times faster than the dog. That's why it's surviving the fall from high levels, and the dog won't. So the purring, it's also purring when it has a trauma. It wants to relax itself. And this, the thing, I need somebody to sing on to make it. Shall I sing on your stomach? I'll do that, just to make the cats purring with you. Is it okay? I'll see if you need it. Oh, there's some trauma here. I'm sorry. You want? Shall I take it? Yeah, just sing. So now it released.
Yeah, it was like
feel
something
it?
sort of filled up
Yeah,
with air.
you were starting with being tense, and then it released, then the deep note will come through. Thank you, Jeremy. So the cat's purring has been, they found out that it has a deep effect. And I have found out that if you can do it, if you have anybody, you can do like this, like children are doing. My baby did it when the youngest one, I just he would only say like this all the time, you know. And when I had to make him sleep outside in the wagon, you know, he didn't want me to sing all these beautiful songs. Saying, ah. He's saying, he wanted me to sing this, and I was walking, you know, people looking at it. Then he fall asleep very fast. You want that? So this note can take also, do you call it colic? The pain of the babies. I've been doing it in trains everywhere. If you know, you ask the mother careful, is it okay? I know how usually to do it, you know. So if it's not because they need something from the mother that they don't get, if it's the pain in the stomach, you can sing this. And men with the deep voices, please sing on the babies. In Denmark, they don't want to hear about it. I wanted to tell the mothers about it, but you know, these, not the midwives, the other ones looking after the babies. I don't know the name. They thought it's rubbish, but so many problems could have been solved from this. In general, all problems in the unconscious, these undertones. The note that, or what I was taught also from India, but the note, your ground note is quite deep, because then your chords are relaxed. If you go too high, there will be tension, because it's like a, you know, a string on the bass. So they have to be just in balance. Usually it's around an A for women. Men can be on an A, but also on other notes, because you have longer strings, chords. But when you've found one note that you feel comfortable with and just sing on that, you just have to feel very comfortable with it, not to be tense at all. That you can call your ground note. And if you don't feel comfortable, then move to another one, because it might move a little bit when you start to listen to yourself. So and another thing about ground notes, if I may say that, is that I have an idea I might come to manifest it. It is to sing for the sea, because of the climate changes and all these unbalances in the world now. The water, the sea has its own ground note too. If you're standing in front of the sea and you sing to it, you will find that a certain note will resonate. And standing singing with the sea actually is a very beautiful thing, because you can bless the sea and it will bless you, you know. And the sea, for me, the legs are the ground, the roots. From here, the sea, the unconscious, where we've thrown so much garbage, and the sea is going now, it's enough for it. It's the mother of us, actually. It's like the womb, and we've just misused it. Like we misuse ourselves. When our traumas are hidden here, it's a mirror, a reflection of what's happening in the world. So if we start to take care of ourselves, there will be no doubt anymore. Because in our heart we know that we cannot misuse the sea. We know we are one. Because we are all sound. Everything is sound. And when you start to feel your own sound, you also start to reconnect to all there is. You understand? Because all is frequent. You start to feel, you know, we are a chain. And I'm that chain. And without the others, we are depending on each other's sounds. So if the sea will wipe us off, you know, we'll not be here anymore. So we better start to take care of it. Like we should take care of our own unconscious, because there must be a lot down here in people's stomachs, since we can misuse the world how we're doing it now. When you get into the note from heaven, you start to see that very clearly, that greed is leading to nothing at all. It has no, what you call it, you have no benefits in it. It has the one benefit is if you had not enough food to eat, then there's common an instinctive reaction, and the animal say, I want food, you know. But all this greed leading to nothing. So that's also in the ground note. that when you come back to your ground note, you start to love everything because we are all one.
Hive. I was thinking of hives. I don't know if you've been to see the exhibition, the installation at Kew Gardens. It's a hive.
No?
The beehive, and each hive hums at a different note. And it was interesting what you were saying about how they're all connected.
A hive, what is a hive?
A hive is a beehive.
House for bees.
Where the bees
What?
live.
Oh, for the bees.
Yes.
So
They
each,
all hum at
The-
different hives.
Really?
At different notes.
the bees, your name is Maria Teresa?
Yes.
She said that each beehive have different sound. That's fantastic. Like each culture can have different sounds because, we are like in a big sound family. And that's also what I discovered, that many people that have the same feeling, idea, we like becoming a family. Nobody in my real family will understand this, but people can say, yeah, I had this. And that's why it's all about resonance. And the more we are, the more it can spread. So for me, it's just about sharing. Cannabis a little bit, once, and a lot. And he got afraid of the humming sound, like the bees and this and that. Are you still afraid of it?
No, but it's now it's exciting. I find it exciting. If I can hit that note, I find it really exciting. It's like
Yes.
a rave or something,
A rave?
A rave is where you dance all night to flashing stroboscopes.
Yes?
And if they get the right frequency, like I go off,
Yes.
light up. And it's like I go into this strange surrealistic world.
Yes?
I love it
Yes.
now, but before it was really actually terrifying. I was actually run away from mains cables that were humming. I had to run away from them.
Phil had to run away from anything that was humming.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say about it is that you have maybe been too close to your small self, the animal in you, the tadpole in you. There's so the monster. It can grow to a monster if you don't want to communicate with it, the tadpole. Even if it's just a small one. If you give it power, it's the monster. Yeah? And what we do with the voice is to embrace it. We're saying, welcome problem, welcome emotion. I will embrace you and I'll take you out with all my sorrow. And the laughter and cry is one. I see people, when it's getting out, they start to laugh. So it's comic and tragical in one time. And when people are together about this, they know we all have this in us. And that's why when we're close, we're together like this, about doing this, it's getting a very lovely atmosphere. Because nobody will say, oh, you cried. No, because when the sound is coming out, they get a gift from you. Even it's coming from cry. And people talking about, oh, isn't there bad energy? No, because the bad energy is the energy that is stuck in the body. Because that's like old water getting rotten. But when it's freed, it's like getting a reward from the bank. Oh, I forgot I had all this money in the bank. Where we got it here? So it's just a matter of that the small self will accept that you don't have to keep that tension anymore. So that needs a little bit of work to keep it open and have some healing there. So, yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I want just to say one thing, is that you mentioned our site. We have Lars Muhl sitting with a hat down there, and me. We have a site called www.gilalai.com, and there the CD for this book can be downloaded for free. And I also have an education. I start now doing it week courses. I start to do it next year for weeks. And you can just take 1 week independently. And if you want it to be educated, we have an examination and you have to have minimum 4 week courses. But these week courses can be be also made in England. It can be made any place. It's the same thing repeating, but you just get other levels when you get second time. It's just practicing all this. And if you feel it's enough with 1 week, go for it. So my homepage is thenotefromheaven.com. Thank you.